Meet Laura Martinez, a Spanish jumper with the kind of quiet confidence that doesn't need noise to feel loud. Because in jumping, there's nowhere to hide. No teammates to cover a mistake. No clock you can blame. Just a runway, a board, a bar, or a pit. And one question that comes back every single attempt. Did you earn this jump? From the outside, jumping looks simple. Sprint, plant, fly. But the truth is, it's one of the most unforgiving events in track and field. Everything has to line up at the exact same moment. Speed, rhythm, timing, posture, nerve. You can be in great shape and still miss. You can do everything right and still clip the edge by a fraction. And you can be one of the best in the field, but if your last step is off by a few centimeters, your whole day can collapse. That's what makes Laura's rise so impressive. Not just that she jumps far or clears high, but that she keeps coming back to the same pressure over and over and looks more comfortable inside it every time. Because what you don't see in the highlights is the repetition, the thousands of run-ups, the practice sessions where nothing feels smooth, the days when your legs feel heavy and your brain feels louder than your body. The invisible work, the mobility, the core stability, the drills that look boring but build the engine that makes the jump possible. That's where jumpers are made. Laura didn't become a strong jumper by accident. She became one by learning the hardest skill in the sport, consistency. Not perfect consistency, nobody has that, but the kind that holds under stress, the kind that still shows up when the stadium is quiet and all you can hear is your spikes tapping the track. And here's what separates serious jumpers from talented ones. They don't chase a good day. They build a system that produces good days. They learn their approach like a musician learns a song. Step count, rhythm, body angle, posture, and timing. They know exactly where they should be at every point of the runway. Because the jump isn't just the jump, it's the whole approach. The jump is the final sentence. The runway is the paragraph that sets it up. Laura's runway work is what gives her that snap you can feel in the footage. The acceleration looks controlled. The rhythm doesn't panic. And that last phase, the final steps before takeoff, is where the real athletes show themselves. Most people speed up and lose posture. Great jumpers speed up and get taller. They don't just run faster, they run cleaner. That's where the confidence comes from, not from hype, from knowing you've done it 1,000 times. And then comes the hardest part, the takeoff. That split second where fear and technique collide. Because jumping asks you to do something your body doesn't naturally want to do at full speed. Plant hard and commit upward without hesitation. If you hesitate, you lose power. If you overthink, you break rhythm. If you lean, you kill the angle. It's a violent movement disguised as grace. Laura's takeoff is disciplined. You can see the intent. The plant looks sharp, the body position stays strong, and the jump doesn't look forced. That's a sign of real technical control, when the jump looks like it belongs there. But technique is only half the fight. The other half is psychological. Because jumping is an event where you live with misses. You live with no jumps. You live with attempts that were almost perfect but didn't count. You can be in shape and still foul by a toe. You can be on pace for a huge performance and then lose your rhythm for one round. And you have to handle it instantly because you don't get time to mourn. You get a few minutes and then you're back on the runway. That's what makes Laura's mindset so important. The best jumpers don't react like every attempt defines them. They treat each attempt like information. They make adjustments fast. They stay emotionally steady, and they keep their identity separate from the result. Because in high-pressure meets, the winner isn't always the person with the biggest potential. It's the person who can access their potential on command. And Laura is building that reputation, a jumper who can deliver when the runway feels smaller and the moment feels bigger. Another thing most people don't understand is how physical the training is outside of the jump itself. Jumpers train like sprinters and like lifters. Power work, speed work, plyometrics, strength, stability, tendon durability, because your body has to handle massive forces. The landing isn't soft. The takeoff isn't gentle. Everything is impact. And you have to be strong enough to stay healthy while still being explosive enough to compete. That's why the journey matters, because staying in the sport long enough to improve is already an accomplishment. A lot of athletes have one good season and disappear. Not because they weren't talented, but because jumping punishes inconsistency and punishes injuries. Progress is never a straight line. So if you're watching Laura's highlights and thinking, she makes it look easy, understand what that means. She's doing something very hard with discipline that makes it look simple. And the best part of her story is that she still looks like an athlete climbing, like someone not satisfied with good. Because the best jumpers always chase details. They chase cleaner phases, better rhythm, stronger posture, a sharper penultimate step, a more confident takeoff, a better landing position. The smallest improvements create the biggest results. That's the difference between a jumper who competes and a jumper who progresses. And if you're building a video around Laura Martinez, that's the angle that holds attention. Not just she's good, but why she's dangerous. Because she has the traits that win: repeatable mechanics, a calm approach under pressure, and the willingness to keep refining the small things most people ignore. So here's the takeaway. Laura Martinez represents the kind of athlete you can't measure by one performance. She's not just a highlight clip, she's a process. A runway built step by step. A jumper who's learning how to show up in bigger moments and make the jump count when it matters. And the scary thing for everyone else is this: jumpers like her don't need everything to go perfectly to perform. They just need one good rhythm, one clean approach, one committed takeoff, and suddenly the competition changes. Because when a jumper finds rhythm, the runway stops feeling like distance and starts feeling like momentum. And that's when you see it: the plant, the lift, the flight, the landing. And it looks like a single motion, like it was always going to happen that way. That's Laura Martinez, a Spanish jumper built on discipline, not noise. And if she keeps stacking consistency with confidence, the next big jump won't look like a surprise. It'll look inevitable.